Hello, dear friends. This is 40 Nights with the Promise Consoler. These are therapeutic conversations based on articles, chapters of books that are unprecedented in the English written literature. We are here also live at Kardec Radio, which, by the way, has a new app that was just launched today, February 24th, 2017. Thanks to dear friends who worked very hard to make this happen. And these therapeutic sessions, conversations, will go for 40 days. It's been 102 days that we're here non-stop, day after day, since the elections. And the Spirit Mentor Joseph told us very clearly, way before the inauguration of the new President of the United States of America, back in November, saying, let's work the hardest we can, making sure that everybody stays attuned with the constructive mental currents of the planet and working together for the better. This is the first day, first night in 40 nights. We're gonna work together. Humberto de Campos, or Brother X as his pseudonym, wrote several books through Chico Xavier, the Brazilian medium, including Good News, which is already in English, and we had a whole series that you can watch the recordings either on the Facebook page of Kardec Radio, or you can go to the YouTube channel of Kardec Radio and watch that series or others. But interesting enough, Humberto de Campos wrote chapters in other books of several authors, or sometimes his sole books. He was the sole author, but scattered regarding Jesus' life. So Carlos Diaz kindly has been compiling the chapters of all those books, chapters that pertain to the revelations of Jesus' passages that are unprecedented in Spiritism, as the Promise Consoler brings to us these beautiful teachings that are in Portuguese but not in English yet, but now in English. Finally, we're gonna publish some of this in the Spiritist magazine, and very soon we hope to give the whole compilation to the Brazilian Spiritist Federation, hoping that they can publish it for you. The sooner the better. Also, we have here in the background a beautiful portrait of Jesus by Acchiani. I got this picture from a friend, Amy Bianc. She lives in the area of Illinois, nearby Chicago, and in the year 2006, she gave us this beautiful gift. And she met Acchiani in person, and I had a chance to talk to the mother of Acchiani over the phone, who gave us permission to publish in our book with Divaldo Franco, The New Generation, 2 of her paintings. Acchiani is considered a prodigy child in arts in general. But we Spiritists understand that she's much more than a prodigy child. She's a reincarnating being that certainly has talents that are very advanced. And this picture, she said when she was very little, only 8 years old, she painted it, and this is just a copy, but it's a big canvas. She represented as a child the moment in which Jesus was telling us from a cross, but here she portrays without a cross, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. And we would like that this one be our background. because in the series of studies we're going to have going on here for 49s, we really want to listen again and again for ourselves these sayings by Jesus. Father, forgive us, because often we don't know what we're doing. And to kickstart the series, we have the book Shelf of Life, which is not in English yet, in Portuguese, Estante da Vida. We have 4 chapters in the whole book in which Humberto de Campos, or Brother X, brings to us unprecedented revelations on Jesus passages. Today we're going to read to you the translation of chapter 19, titled Jesus and Simon. Again, this book is not yet in English. This book is in Portuguese, Estante da Vida. You can find it in PDF format, or you can buy it at EDC of America because they have it in Portuguese, or anywhere else you are in this world if it's available. The English is coming up in the Spiritist magazine, this chapter we're going to read tonight. It's striking because the contents pertain to the moment we're living right now on the earth. And the teachings are certainly very comforting, very consoling after all. When people ask Emmanuel through Chico Xavier how Spiritism actually is the promised consoler that Jesus revealed to us, they say it comes to reveal things that Jesus could not have said before, but mostly to help religions and philosophies throughout the world get unstuck, untied of their dogmas and fulfill their missions, helping the progress of the earth. So Spiritism comes primarily as Christ, the Christ consciousness that comes back again very close to us, consoling us without dogmas, without rituals, without hierarchy. It's Jesus that comes limpid, clear, one-on-one for you and I, for all of us. And to kickstart the conversation, before I read the chapter for you, we would like to say hi to our beautiful community. In the gravity of the times we're living in on the earth, we rejoice because we're allowed to have this beautiful contact. Hello, Lea Severo. By the way, thank you so much for noticing today a little mistake we had in our flyer for our new series that started today. Thank you so much for keeping an eye and helping us, making sure that we're delivering exactly what people have been asking us. Hello, Sunshine. I know we're all excited. And Danny, Erica, how are you, friends? Hello. Hello, Angelira. Patricia, how are you? Adilson and Rihanna. Rita de Cássia, thank you so much for being with us. And Ceisa, beautiful Ceisa. This is our carnival, right, Ceisa? This is the best of carnivals of all time. And Andrea, hello, Andrea. And Melissa. Yes, how are you? Yes, and Sol. Hello, Sol. So, shall we feel the power of the presence of the Master that lovingly encourages us to a new beginning? Are you ready? Yes, I think we are. And just to make sure that everybody is on with us, let us say, this is from the book Estante da Vida, Shelf of Life, in Portuguese, not yet in English. It was psychographed by the medium Chico Xavier. The spirit author is named Humberto de Campos, or Chico Xavier, or Brother X. This is chapter 19. Let us read it. Jesus and Simon. Jesus left the home of Jeroboam, the son of Achaz, at Chorazin, to attend a request for help in the next house, when 4 publicans hastily appeared, seeking him for the comforting word. They received the news of the kingdoms, the gospel of the kingdom. They were hungry for enlightenment and tranquility, begging for words to aid them in the attainment of peace and hope. The Master contemplated their distinct garments, their faces creased with deep uneasiness, and he had compassion on them. But Jesus was called by the messengers who requested his presence of supreme benefactor. He called Simon Peter and asked Peter before the consulting friends. Peter, our brethren, come looking for renewal and affection. I request that you be the bearer of the eternal good. Please support them with the truth. Let us continue in our task of love. The apostle glanced around at the bystanders. As soon as he was alone with them, he became a little arrogant and stubborn, awaiting their manifestation. It was Eliud, the jeweler, and the oldest of the 4, who stood up and modestly asked, "Disciple of the Lord, we hear the new revelation, and we have the spirit full of joy. We understand that the Nazarene Messiah comes from the Almighty to free us from the shadow to the light, from death to life. What instructions and blessings do you bring us, O beloved fellow of the good news? We're thirsty for the kingdom of God that the Master announces. Clarify our intelligence. Guide us in our hearts to the path we must read." Simon, however, with a blazing eye, as if he had been austere caretaker of the conscience of others, he waved his fist violently on the table and said, "I know you, vipers from Chorazin," and pointing his finger to Eliud, the same one who had taken the initiative of understanding, Simon Peter accused him severely. "What do you want here, thief of widows and orphans? I know that you have accumulated immense fortune at the expense of other people's afflictions. Your stones, your necklaces, your rings, what are they but the crystallized tears of your victims? How can you pronounce the name of God?" Turning to the second one, on the scale of the age group, Simon shouted, "You, Moab, what do you come for? What did you come for? Don't you know that I am that I'm not ignorant of your moral misery? How did you encourage yourself to come here, after exhorting the 2 brothers from whom you stole the goods left by your father? You forget that one of them died, consumed by penury, and the other one has gone mad because of you, without any resource to their own maintenance." Then he addressed the third bystander. "What are you looking for, Zachary? Are you not ashamed to have provoked the death of Zerubbabel, the shoemaker, buying his debts and tormenting him from execrable charges for the sole purpose of stealing his wife? You already have the fruit of your hunt. You annihilated a man and took his widow. What more do you want, wretch?" And turning to the last one, Simon cried out, "What can I tell you, Ananias? For many years now I have known that you are doing the trade of hunger, demanding the vegetables and milk constantly rise in price in praise of your cupidity. You have never bothered with the miserable children of your neighborhood who die in destitution, waiting for your charity, which has never been expressed." Believe it or not. Simon raised his arms to the ceiling, as if he intended to radiate his own indignation, and roared, "Bunch of thieves! Gang of evildoers! The kingdom of God is not for you." At that very moment, Jesus re-entered the room, followed by some friends. Understanding what was going on, Jesus tenderly contemplated the 4 tearful publicans, and at the same time he approached the fisherman friend, asking, "Peter, what have you done?" Disappointed before those eyes whose silence language he knew so well, Simon tried to justify himself. "Lord, you said that I should support this man with the truth." "Yes, I said support. I would never recommend you to annihilate someone with the truth." Then Jesus accepted the invitation that Jeroboam made to sit at the table. Smiling, Jesus insisted with Eliud, Moab, Zachary, and Ananias to share the supper. A beautiful meeting was organized for later, in which the verb was comforting and ennobled. In conversation, the Master exalted the divine providence in such a way and referred to the kingdom of God so beautifully that all diners had the impression of living in the future in prodigious communion of interests and ideals. When the 4 publicans said goodbye, they felt different, transformed, happy. Jesus and Simon also left. When they were alone, step by step, before the stars of the calm night, the rude fisherman upbraided the behavior of the divine friend, asking questions through long allegations. Peter said, "If it were necessary to show so much affection towards the bad, how to extend aid to the good? If men who live in mistake deserve so much love, what would be our duty before the righteous ones?" Christ listened to the accusations in silence. When the apprentice hushed his last complaints, Jesus answered in a brief sentence, Peter, I did not come to earth to heal the healthy. How are you feeling, friend? What a message. Exactly today when we are indignated like Peter by the behavior of others, leaders in this world, are we going to be like Peter? Accusing and even demanding of Jesus himself? What is Jesus' recommendation? Let us observe our feelings first, so we know what they are when we read this passage. What is the feeling? Because it's perfect fitting for the current times we're living in. He doesn't bring us to inaction. On the contrary, yes, we're here for those who are sick, but who proclaim themselves sick. Because those who are thinking of themselves as healthy, let them be. We cannot go there and change them. But we, right now, as we speak, we can reach out to those who are in need, no matter what they have done. It's not on us to judge. It's not on us to criticize. Who can actually cast a stone? Simon Peter apparently was a fisherman, of simple life. But according to the Spiritist science, we know that that was not his first life on the earth. He has lived before. And why in that life he was given an opportunity to live a simple life, the life of a fisherman, noble but simple. Certainly to fulfill his duties with the Master, but also as an evolving spirit to learn many things, amongst them humility. In this passage, we see that he was not yet there, like us. We are indignated before people's mistakes, as if we don't have any, or have not committed any ever. Here, Peter kindly was asked by Jesus to support the consulting guests with the truth. What is to support others with the truth? What is it? What is it for you? What is it for you to support somebody with the truth? To support you, yourself, myself with the truth. What is it? Is it for me to look at myself in the mirror and say, Vanessa, you messed up pretty bad, you're grounded, no more this, that, and the other till the rest of this reincarnation? Go face the wall, as if it solves any problems. By the way, grounding a child like that does not teach them much. Time out, grounding, no. It actually helps by building discernment. And you can do this at an early age. Don't underestimate your children. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, and so on and so forth. Let us not forget, dear friends, we're here to support our children with the truth, but not to undermine them when they make a mistake. Our husbands and wives, they make a mistake. We're not here to support them with the truth by telling them that they don't amount to anything. Otherwise, we're going to be just like Peter, meeting people and shouting the truth. Right, Melissa? Yes? Yes, we really, really need to make sure that we are on top of it. That we are here walking together. It's a learning experience. Probably this is the first reincarnation for most of us on the earth. First reincarnation in which we're learning how to tame the fury of indignation. What happens to you when you have this fury of indignation? When truth comes and shines brightly before you and you see the mistakes of yours or of others, what is your first reaction? Can you tell? What is your first reaction? You don't need to share with me, but let's all think together for ourselves. Mentor Joseph is kindly asking us to meditate on what happens to us when we have that fury of indignation coming from inside of us. Like McCarthy Clare is kindly saying, anger, right? Sorry. No, you're saying sorry for sharing, or you're saying you feel sorry? Sorry, McCarthy Clare. But here we have anger. That's normal. We shall not be feel guilty because of it. But we need to know our natural conditioning. When we have the fury of indignation, what do you do first? Observe it first. Visualize the good before anything happens. Next time when I feel that, I'm going to remind myself that I have a long spiritual history and I cannot be indignated or demand any correctedness and righteousness of anybody because I'm not there yet. Okay, we will. Thank you for asking, Sunshine. Sunshine is asking here, can we hear some examples for supporting with the truth? Yes, we're going to get there. Before we get there, we really needed to know, how do we usually respond when we see something that does not match the truth and that fury of indignation comes up? What do we do? How can we tame it? First, by knowing that we feel it. Second, by knowing what types of emotions come up in those moments of indignation. Anger, hatred. What is it? And then once we know, we need to step back. Allow those emotions to be there like balloons. Emotions are passing. Emotion. It's a motion of the spirit that vibrates and expresses itself. It's like a balloon, a bubble. It may stay there, but it goes away. We're not the emotions we feel. We're not the thoughts that we think. But if we keep feeling them and thinking them, they will naturally manifest in our lives in very concrete ways. That's why we're working here together. Yes, Rudy, this passage, yeah, thank you, Leah, is written there from the book Estante da Vida, not yet in English, Shelf of Life, chapter 19, Jesus and Simon. Thank you, Leah. Beautiful community here, helping one another. Exactly. So now, once we identified, but observe what Jesus said to Peter before he left. He said, Peter, can you please be the bearer of the eternal good? Let's listen what Jesus, he was an educator at this moment. He was saying, come looking for renew. This brethren, come looking for renew and affection. So you see, Jesus is already teaching in between the lines. And he's saying, I request, Peter, that you be the bearer of the eternal good. Support them with the truth. Let us continue in our task of love. From beginning to end, he's recommending affection, care, love, and truth. Support. Support is a very feminine action. And truth is the counterpart. So it's like a balance. When we talk about supporting others with the truth, we're talking about this holistic approach in which I kindly, tenderly, and with great understanding, I share some illumination so people can feel supported. Because the truth is light. It illuminates. But I need to dim the lights according to the needs of people. The truth needs to be dimmed according to the needs of people. Some people can handle the truth easily, few. Majority like to be sugar-coated. Like, yes, but you know, because if you say the truth, boom. Somebody told me, oh, I was listening to X speaker, and it's so easy. He says the truth, and I don't feel threatened. And I said, yes, it's easy to listen to the truth when it comes from somebody you don't have to live your daily life with the person. Because the person is kind of neutral in your life. But if you have to listen to the same truth from somebody who is in your home, in your spiritist group, in your neighborhood, that has a particular role in your life, maybe we won't be able to handle that truth. Because that truth has a different intensity because of the closeness with us. So that's why we have many messengers throughout the planet. We can listen to the Dalai Lama and say, wow. But I can listen to the same thing from a family member and not feel wowed at all. Why? Because that truth coming from somebody who's too close to us doesn't make us feel comfortable. It's too much. Same truth. Ah, but Vanessa, it's how they say. Not necessarily. It's mostly about the closeness of ours and how this truth is being shared in a particular intensity, not by the way we say, but by the closeness of the people around us. It may be facilitating or creating obstacles. So we need to dim the light of the truth. Supporting people, it's like you have a lantern and you're shedding light by the intensity that they can handle. That's what we are doing when we're supporting others with the truth. Exactly. Melissa is saying maybe we confuse support with getting defensive. Well, supporting means being a foundation where they can step on it and feel secure. But we can only give them that level of security if the light of truth we are shedding on them is relative to what they can handle. If it's too bright, they're going to say, thank you, but I cannot see anything because it's too much. If it's too little, they're going to say, oh well, I still cannot see anything because it's not that much. So when we support others with the truth, we need to give them that sense of security by shedding the light of the truth at the intensity that they can handle. But in our position, exercising humility, who are we to actually tell others this, that, and the other? So somebody comes, they've made a big mistake, and usually we're like this. Oh, really? Now you want to hear the truth? Well, 2 years ago when I introduced it to you, you didn't want to hear. Now you want to hear? It's as if the patient goes to the doctor today, and the doctor says, take this prescription, do exercises, go to the gym, and eat this and that and the other, avoid this, that, and the other. And then I go home like, oh, that doctor, I didn't like the doctor because of this, that, and the other. 2 years later, I come back and say, doctor, I'm so sorry. I came here. I know I'm not behaving, but I really want you to help me. Now I'm ready. Like these 4 publicans. It's exactly what they're feeling. Now they were ready. Now they were sick and tired of their life and of what they've done. Now imagine the doctor of this patient coming and saying, oh really? I told you what to do 2 years ago and now you come? What do you want? You don't deserve any cure. Because when I gave it to you, you didn't want it. You trashed your life out. You've been smoking and drinking, doing the opposite that I've told you. That's exactly what Peter did. Considering that he's not the doctor, which was way worse. Like many of us, people come or they come back, and just because we found some light, we have a little lantern. You know, just like a movie theater, we go and zoom, shine that light brightly on their faces, bothering them, and we are not actually helping. So, supporting others with the truth is giving them a sense of security, of direction, with the kindness of the light of the truth, dimmed to the intensity they can handle. And that's why Jesus says, let us continue in our task with love. Now let us observe Jesus' body language. Because he's kind, he trusts Peter. But he knows Peter's not there yet. But like an apprentice, and Humberto de Campos uses that language here. Peter is an apprentice. So Peter is in this intensive internship with Jesus. It's like an internship, residency program. He's like, go, Peter. Now take care of these patients. But remember, let's continue our task with love. Help them out. Support them with the truth. But Peter goes wild. And then, interesting enough, Jesus comes back. He re-entered the room, but he tenderly, instead of first looking at Peter and putting him down with the eyes, he was concerned about those who were suffering the most, the 4 publican men. So Jesus tenderly contemplated the 4 publicans. And he approached the fisherman friend, asking, "What have you done?" It's like in a residency program, a teacher surgeon coming to the student and asking, "What have you done?" And disappointed before those eyes whose silence language he knew so well, the silence that Jesus used not to hurt Peter. Simon tried to justify himself. "You said that I should support them with the truth." And Jesus replied, "I said support. I would never recommend that you annihilate someone with the truth." But Jesus doesn't make a big fuss of it. He doesn't enter in an argument, lecturing, preaching Peter. Let us observe now from Jesus' perspective what he does. He goes and he knows that it takes time for people to mature. So, for a lesson for us, because we're often looking forward to people being so on top of their game. They have to know, they have to do this, they have to do that, and then we realize it's not the way to go. We really need to step back and evoke the teachings, the emotional body language of Jesus. As a good and loving master, he doesn't preach, he doesn't put Peter down. Now he's concerned with those 4 publicans. So what does he do? He takes measure without creating fuss. Jesus is not a drama queen or king. He stays calm. He invites the 4 fishermen to have dinner. He creates a banquet of light to the point that everybody felt one together. And when the publicans left, they felt rejuvenated, happy, transformed. And then Jesus even lovingly put up with Simon Peter's accusations, alleging that how we're going to take care of the good if the bad ones behave like this and we have to love them. And then Jesus says in one sentence, "I did not come to earth to heal the healthy." Healthy are the ones who think. It's in the book Good News, by the way. Jesus explaining, are those who don't think they need it. But these 4 publicans, they surrendered themselves and came to Jesus looking for renewal. Major lesson for us today. Jesus very kindly is asking us to support one another with the truth. Let us continue in our task of love. Let us meditate on this. As deep as it is, as invitational as it is, my friends, let us say nothing anymore and just breathe in and out, listening to Jesus' words. Please support them with the truth. Let us continue in our task of love. Let us breathe in and out, absorbing this beautiful invitation, especially on the day of today. Tame the fury of indignation and accept the invitation of Jesus. Let us support one another and others with the truth by continuing in our task of love. Unbelievable, right? Incredible sunshine. Hello, Constance. Friends, we'll stop, meditate and meditate, and ask God that we be back here in a day. Yes, on February 25th, we'll be back for another chapter from the book Estante da Vida. Not in English. Don't worry, just meditate on this one. Let us support others with the truth, continuing our task of love. A big kiss, a lovely hug. Thank you, friends. Let us go on.